Runneth Gunneth. Mr. Gunter,
Heareth.
I need to get you back on the phone line. We had a power reset on the tie line, so I need to get you back on the phone.
Okay.
Here we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can Ron hear me?
Say that again.
Can Ron hear me?
I can, and so can the world. So you're good.
Thank you. All right, much appreciated, Ron. And I'll see you in 8 minutes and 25 seconds.
Oakley dokley. 10 seconds to start of intro. Starting intro now. Twenty. One in 5, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome one, welcome all to Titletown, USA, and beautiful Tasker Arena on the campus of Hobbs High School. And they say that the road to the Final Four is a road that's paved with iron, and here we are with two ironclad teams getting ready to go at it tonight. The 11-1 Hobbs Lady Eagles and the 12-1 Los Lunas Tigers. With me as always is my right man, the man with the plan is Ty Friend. How are you doing today, Ty?
Hey, Coach. Again, big game tonight, as you mentioned. I know it was kind of a tough start for the Lady Eagles in that last one. Pretty much blew out Sandia. As the game went along, won by 17, 59-42. But this Los Lunas team been battle tested. Went to that double overtime on Tuesday night. Got the win over Cleveland. This was a team that was down early, 16-4 in the first quarter, and they came back and won in the double overtime. We'll talk about that in a minute, but still, it's a pretty tasty game. These two teams have played before, but that was back the first game of the season where the Lady Eagles just blew them out pretty much.
And you know, in that blowout, you really didn't get to see what Los Lunas was, or us for that matter. Neither team was really playing on all cylinders. And neither team was fully staffed for that game, from what I understand. So we're going to see a whole different ball game tonight, and I think it's going to come down to post play again tonight. I think that's going to be the big key here, is whether Los Lunas' posts are going to be able to stop the Hobbs Lady Eagles down low.
Yeah, Wisdom Anthony, Elise Turbiatis, and Nia Joseph all getting big rebounding numbers in that game against Sandia the other night. In fact, Joseph with 12 rebounds. Also, Wisdom Anthony had 12 boards, and Elise Turbiatis with 11, so that's big-time numbers. That's over 35 rebounds between just those three players alone. Lady Eagles completely controlled the boards, 43 to 37 in that game, so definitely doing the job there. A lot of cleanup work, especially by Nia Joseph. She might not always get double-digit points scoring, but she's going to get double digits on the glass, and that's exactly what you want. And also kind of a garbage pickup player, too. Somebody might miss a layup. They had a lot of missed layups against Sandia, but she was there to clean them up quite a bit.
To me, the big X factor for Nia Joseph is her defense. When she's not in foul trouble and she's changing plays and she's making people change their shots, she is effectively defensively, and she really sets the pace for this Lady Eagles squad.
And there's so many threats out there. We say this game after game, and the post players, of course, again with Elise Turbiatis, 15 points and 11 rebounds, double-double in the game. Wisdom Anthony from the outside going to the rack with it, 22 points and 12 rebounds in that game against Sandia. Just so many threats they have to stack up against. Coach Zeller, though, very experienced, 3 state championships in a row in the 4A. They moved up to 5A this year, and they're still sitting with just a 1-loss record at this point, 12-1, and guess what? The only loss was the Hobbs Lady Eagles.
Yeah, that's true, and I think that at this point they're gunning for us. They know our speed. They know exactly what they're going to get. The question is, has their team improved enough to be able to handle that coming into this game? I watched a little bit of the Los Lunas Cleveland game, and Los Lunas plays a lot of 2-3 zone. So it's going to be really important to come out early and start hitting those three-pointers and make them come out of that zone.
Yeah, they were kind of nail-biting in that game against Cleveland Tuesday. In fact, they were, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, 16-4 was the start of the ball game. They did not lead the whole game into the second overtime, and really had some issues as they were getting shut down by that Cleveland squad. And again, it went to the second overtime just to get the win. If you take a look at that game, finally in the second quarter, Los Lunas outscored them 14-6, but they were still down by 3 at the half. It went by a 5-point margin into the fourth quarter, and then Los Lunas outscored them 7-2 to get the overtime. So had to come from behind. Natalie Hohola, one of their players for this Los Lunas team, had 12 points in the second OT alone. So she really put the team on her back. She went 5 of 6 from the free throw line in the OT periods, had the first 7 points of that second overtime to get the win. So she really stepped up big. The team was on the ropes at that point, so again, they had a pretty easy shot about almost getting dumped in that first-round game to Cleveland. Cleveland, no slouch. By the way, that game was played in Cleveland. Cleveland was a number 5 seed, and Los Lunas number 4, but they had to go up there because they couldn't have any fans at their home gym. Valencia County wasn't open yet. They still had the yellow designation, so they decided, hey, at least we're going to have fans. And by the way, that was the first game this season that they've had fans, home or away. So that's the first time they took some people with them. Coach Zeller said that was the first game that he could not get communication with his players because of the crowd noise. He was trying to get defensive plays out there, and he couldn't get the communication done. So, it's kind of a bittersweet situation, but the fans are happy. They were pretty loud here a few minutes ago here at Tasker Arena.
Yeah, they actually travel pretty well. The bottom half of the stands on the right side next to the Taskovich band is filled with quite a few blue shirts, and from what I understand, they brought quite a few faithful with them tonight.
And they better watch out, the Lady Eagles better, because there's 3 big players that they have on this team. We mentioned Natalie Gahola, Mia Guest, and Felina Gabaldon. Those 3 have already signed letters of intent for the Rocky Mountain Conference up in Colorado, Western Colorado, also Northern Colorado, and Adams State. So those 3 players have signed those paperwork already. Kylie Burgess has signed with the University of Jamestown. So right there you got 4 quality athletes. And those are Division II schools in NAIA, but at the same time, again, it's pretty quick to get those all signed. And this is a team that's, like I said, 3 state championships in a row, so they're going to be a test for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, they are. I don't think they've seen anybody like Wisdom Anthony except that one game this year, though. And Wisdom Anthony, she's going to get hers. We've not seen anybody that's been able to really shut her down or even really slow her down this season. So how do they approach us defensively?
That's a good question. I mean, you got to kind of watch every angle of the game. The big players underneath, the post players asking for the basketball, and then they'll kick it out. And we have plenty of guards that love to shoot those long trays when they sometimes having issues hitting them. Last game was kind of a dry spell going on there for much of it, but still we have people to clean up those boards. One big thing we need to improve on, Coach, is the free throw shooting. 30% from the line last game, 46% from the season. Not a knock on the team, but at the same time, we haven't had a game where that's been a big factor yet. Last night was kind of shaky at the beginning, but it completely turned to the Lady Eagles in that second quarter. But still, free throw shooting, and even I noticed Elise Turbiatis kind of made a comment about that in the Hobbs News Sun this morning, saying that they know that they need to make those free throws. Luckily, there was other areas of the game that made up for it.
Yeah. We'll be back with first half action after these messages. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on the Eagle 100.5.
You're clear.
3, please.
Yes, there.
1 minute.
Five, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena, where the Hobbs Lady Eagles have just been introduced onto the floor, and they are meeting around Coach Carpenter for some last-second instruction. The Los Lunas Lady Tigers, they're out there still shooting as we're getting ready for first-half introductions. Any last-second thoughts before we introduce the starters tonight, Ty?
Well, I think the Lady Eagles need to come out quick in this game. A little bit slow to start against Sandia, but they really turned it on that second quarter and throughout the rest of the game, crashing, pressure on top of the perimeter, and all-around good play. Big post presence on the glass. If they can continue with that, you mentioned this already, Los Lunas' top scorer doesn't have a lot of size on her, so Hobbs hopefully can take advantage of that.
And she's actually a post. I was walking down by the team, and they don't have the heights listed on the roster, so I asked her as I'm walking by, hey, how tall are you? And she goes, oh, I'm 5'9". The coach says, you're 5'7". So who knows on that one, Ty. Hobbs Lady Eagles are going to be wearing their home whites, of course, with the black lettering and the black stripe down the side and the inset white inside the numerals with black shoes. Los Lunas playing in their rhodey blues, and they do have an orange stripe along the side of it. And a little orange dot in the middle, maybe a basketball. I'm not sure, or a tiger symbol, hard to see from here, with white numerals. And starters being introduced for Los Lunas. Who do we got?
Number 2, Kylie Burgess, already signed a division, NAIA division track and field and a basketball scholarship. Number 20, Mia Guest. Number 22, Clarissa Hall. 33, Taden Hanks. Number 35, Natalie Hohola, the one that scored the 12 points in the second overtime in that win over Cleveland on Tuesday night. And the Adams State signee, number 44, Felina Gabaldon. So definitely some people that could score. Defending state champs 3 years in a row for Los Lunas. For your Hobbs Lady Eagles, Erilyn Hall, the guard, she's the starter tonight, averaging 5.9 points a contest. Wisdom Anthony, number 10, she's averaging 17.4 to lead the team in scoring at this point in the season. Number 12, Jemiah Clay, who's averaging 3.6 a contest. Elise Turbiatis, number 24, she's at 15.2 a game, of course, second on the team. And last but not least is Anaya Joseph, number 52. In terms of her scoring this season at 10.9 a game. Our top rebounders, Anaya Joseph at 8.5 a game, and Elise Turbiatis with 7. They're averaging over 15.5 a contest, so definitely two that you're going to be scared of if you're the opponent.
We're looking at the press tonight. I think the press is going to be a big key here. The moment they start to apply that extra pressure, not just the token pressure we start off with, we got to see how Los Lunas is going to handle it. I think that's going to define which direction this game goes, if Los Lunas is able to handle that kind of pressure.
And if Coach Zeller was worried about the crowd noise there at the Cleveland game the other night up in Rio Rancho, tonight I think it's going to be worse for him here at Tasker Arena. Usually get a lot of noise in the boys' games, and they're pretty loud here tonight again.
Oh, yeah, we got a pretty close to full gym in the bottom half. There is space at the top, of course. Still slight limitations to the number of people that can be here, and there's instructions about how many people can sit together and stuff like that. But everybody here following those guidelines, including you and I.
Yep, excited for this one. Again, the winner will play in the state championship game on Saturday. Game time yet to be announced, as they are kind of waiting to see which teams are in it that make decisions about the travel situation. So we'll have to wait and see, and I doubt we'll have an answer by the end of this game tonight.
Clarissa Hall is going to be doing the inbounding as Los Lunas courteously gets the ball. We no tips anymore for basketball here in New Mexico. They will bring it in.
Their uniforms kind of look like volleyball style out there.
It does,
length.
especially the shorts. Here's Mia Guest to start us off. Guest being checked by Hall, comes across the timeline. She's asking for help. She calls out Hall and goes to the left side. Anthony gets her hands on it, knocks it out of bounds. Los Lunas already discussing how they're going to try to handle this pressure.
The Lady Eagles fans sit down a lot quicker in this game. It took them about 4 minutes in the last contest to get a chance to have a to the game.
Here's Guest working with the right hand. Go Gabaldon. Gabaldon top of the key. Left side stolen away. Trubiatis on the run. She's under pressure and she's going to dribble it off her foot as they kind of run her down from behind. And a turnover there for the Hobbs Lady Eagles.
Actually 1-1 in the turnover game, so that's no harm done quite yet.
Guest goes right side to Hohola. Hohola looks for Gabaldon. Gabaldon swings it. She's going to trip and fall, and it goes out of bounds. That'll be Lady Eagles basketball. Another turnover.
Yeah, Los Lunas is going to have to learn that they're going to have to take control of that and not worry about the crowd noise and the cowbells and the screaming and yelling going on here, because that's what it's all about. Get inside your head here at Tasker Arena.
Olivia Lucero onto the floor for Los Lunas. They're subbing early as Hall sits. Here's Clay across the timeline with the left hand. Looks for Anthony in the corner. She's going to pump fake, dribble drive right side. Looks back door, and she has it, Nia Joseph. Joseph lays it in with the right hand. It's 2-0 Lady Eagles. Guest flips it near side to Hohola. Back to Guest. They're working against the pressure. Goes to Gabaldon. It's loose. It bounces off of Gabaldon's back into the hands of Clay, and it's going to be a push on one of the Los Lunas girls as Clay gets shoved in the back.
That's already the third turnover for Los Lunas, and some of their passes are hitting in the back at half court. The girls aren't even turned around, so you can tell they're just don't know where to go with the basketball, and it's really getting under their skin so far.
Wisdom Anthony right side, Clay on the wing. Clay, top of the key, Trubiatis. She's going to kick it out. Hall, she wants a three. Hall with the right hand, no good. Gabaldon runs down the rebound. Hall's in there, and they're going to get Hall for holding as she gets her on the arm, trying to tie her up. First personal against Hall, first team foul. One apiece for each team now.
Of course, Lady Eagles got hit up with a lot of fouls in the second half against Sandia, so they have to be careful. They fouled out Jemiah Clay in that game. Also had Joseph with 4 and a couple other girls with 3 apiece, so don't want to get early foul trouble going.
Guest working against the pressure, goes to Hall. Hall pivots, walks with it, no call. Crowd lets him hear it. Comes across the timeline. Into the corner to Hohola. Hohola spins, Gabaldon to the right hand, and she's got it. Gabaldon's on the board with 2. Anthony working against the Los Lunas three-quarter court pressure. They're in zone press as well. Trubiatis, she's going to drive. Backdoor to Joseph. Joseph with another lay-in. Nice pass from Trubiatis.
I guess Los Lunas not learning their lesson. That's the second time they got that wide open underneath the hoop.
Mia Guest, middle of the zone, under pressure. Still heading across the timeline, comes near side Hohola. Hohola walks, no call. Into the corner, it goes to Otero. Otero pivots, looks for help, goes over top. Hohola, backdoor Guest. Guest looks at Hall. Hall, good ball movement here from Los Lunas. Swatted away! Here comes Clay. Clay goes ahead to Hall. Hall resets it.
Beautiful block by Turbiatis.
Wisdom Anthony with another nice pass, and he spreads the defense, and Joseph with another basket.
She's loving that right side of the rim, wide open on the backdoor cuts.
Here's Hohola across the timeline. Los Lunas is playing at our pace. Hohola drives, shoots, no good. Rebound Anthony, she's off to the races. She's going to get pushed. They're going to get her right there as Hall kind of gets into her, and Anthony falls out of bounds.
They had 3 blue jerseys right on top of her the minute she came down with it. And she ripped that ball out of the air and kind of threw those elbows out a little bit, and you saw these Tigers just converge on her.
First personal foul against Hall. Los Lunas setting up the press again. 1-2-2 press here from Los Lunas. They're kind of matching up, too. Anthony, left side, Hall. Hall, Trubiatis in the middle, back to Hall. Thrown away, couldn't handle it. She led Hall just a little bit too much.
2 Hobbs Eagle turnovers here in this first quarter, but still have a 4-point lead, 6-2 with 5:26 left opening quarter.
And Los Lunas looks like they're subbing every time the ball's out of bounds.
Keep those fresh legs on the court. They know the Lady Eagles are going to run them to death back and forth.
Hall inbounds. It goes to Otero, back to Hall. Guest in the middle of the zone. She's going Gabaldon. Swings at top of the key, Hall. She's going to swing around. It's going to be knocked away. Trubiatis knocks it into the hands of Joseph. Here comes Hall. Hall looks back door. She's going to take it herself. She's going to get tripped up on the floor. They're going to tie her up, and that'll be a jump ball. This one will go to the Lady Eagles.
Got to take control of the basketball. Make sure you have your wings out there so you can dish off. Don't try to dribble into traffic. Doing too much that time, and it cost her. Luckily, they got that arrow.
Clay to inbound. Here comes the subs from Los Lunas. 3-1 setup here. She looks up top. She goes to Joseph. Joseph tries to swing it back to Clay. It's not there. Stolen away by Hohola. She sends it ahead, and with a nice little right-handed layup by Tatum Hanks, who just entered the game.
Los Lunas starting to pick away at the lead. Now it's a 2-point ball game, 6-4.
Knocked away by Hohola. That'll be out of bounds, Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball.
Looks like Erilyn Hall's a little bit tentative right now. The ball got ripped out of her hands. I think Coach Carpenter saw that too. He's bringing in a sub, has Bryn Hargrove checking in. And we've been seeing some decent things from her lately too. She's had some double-digit games in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, really coming on. Left side Clay, setting up the offense, getting instructions from Coach Carpenter. Anthony back to Clay. Anthony works to the corner. Top of the key, Hall. Hall back to Clay. They're slowing things down here, getting pressure from Los Lunas. They go for a steal. It's not there. Right side, Anthony. Anthony into the corner. It's going to get back to Anthony. She steps. She looks like she wants to pop. Right side, goes back door. Trubiathis gives it to Clay. Clay wants the three with the right hand. No good. Ball's loose. Joseph's going to tie her up, and they're going to get a call here. It's going to be a jump ball, even though neither player really truly had possession there.
Yeah, a little bit of a juggle going on. Sometimes the refs will call that quickly to try to get away from a travel by somebody. Unfortunate play there, but again, the arrow's going to go the other direction.
And, they were kind of just battering around like they were like trying to grab onto a pineapple there or something. They couldn't quite get their hands on it. Here's Guest. Guest goes right side. Hohola comes across the timeline. Otero left side. She's going to walk. They got her for that one.
Los Lunas having some trouble getting that transition offense set up. 5 turnovers now as the Lady Eagles putting pressure, but I'm also impressed with Los Lunas with their pressure at the perimeter, keeping Hobbs out of the paint for the last couple of down trips.
Here's Anthony to set us up. No pressure here from Los Lunas. They're back in a 1-2-2 zone. Check that. They're now in a man.
Looks like
Trubiathis, she's going over the top. It's Joseph. Joseph has another one. The freshman with the right hand.
That's 8 points for Joseph. All of the Lady Eagles' points on the scoreboard.
Gabaldon working against Anthony. She's looking for help. Comes over the top to Guest. Guest swings it around into the hands of Hanks. Back to Guest. She's going to throw it to the right side. Hohola working against the zone. Goes into Gabaldon. Gabaldon, one dribble, kicks it out. Guest wants a three, right hands it, and she's got it. Guest from way downtown.
That's the second tray of the ball game for Los Lunas, down just by 1, 8-7, 3:24 left first quarter.
Here comes the Los Lunas press. Wisdom Anthony sets us up. Left side works to Clay. Clay, top of the key, Joseph. Joseph goes into Trubiathis, and Gabaldon's going to knock it out of bounds, Lady Eagle basketball.
Again, they're contesting passes, getting in the lane, and making sure there's not easy dumps down in the paint. And although they've got those backdoor looks for Trubiathis, that's working more when they're moving the ball instead of just setting up in a slowdown here.
Here's Anthony. Left side, long three, no good. Hohola with the rebound. She's going to pick it up off the dribble. Comes near side, Hanks. Hanks trying to work against Anthony. It's not there. She sets up the offense. Gabaldon. Back to Hohola. Hohola with looks like multicolored shoes there. Here's Gabaldon. She's going to swing, go up and under. Joseph gets there. Ball's going to roll off and then roll back in. And Los Lunas has their first lead, 9-8. Anthony, Los Lunas crowd getting into it. Left side, Clay. Back to Anthony. She's been quiet, though, so far. Anthony, she's going to swing. She's looking. Sets up the offense with some patience. Now it looks like a 1-3-1 zone. It's kind of morphing here. Left side, Clay. Trubiathis, she's going to pump fake, drive, spin, goes up and under, right hands it, no good. Ball's loose into the hands of Clay. Clay to Anthony. Anthony for three, no good. Brendan Hargrove gets the rebound. Hargrove, short jumper, no good. Throws up an air ball, right side. Los Lunas, they're off to the races. Near side, Hohola. Hohola loses it. It all goes all the way underneath. It goes to Hanks. They're going to try to set the offense up. Hank goes to Gabaldon, back to Hohola. She pump fakes, drives. Right hands it up, no good. It's loose. Hargrove fights for it, saved. Left side, it's Wisdom Anthony. Anthony sidesteps, goes up and under with the left hand, no good. She lost it on the way up. Rebound, Los Lunas. It's back and forth. Here's Hohola. Hohola sets up the offense being checked by Clay. Right side, Guest. Back to Hohola. Gabaldon. Into the corner, Guest. She's looking underneath for Lucero. Finds Gabaldon instead. Gabaldon with a short jumper. And it's 11-8. Los Lunas leads.
Gabaldon now with 6 points, so definitely starting to get back in this game. Very reminiscent of the game on Tuesday. San Diego was up 10-9 at the end of the first quarter. Now they're up Los Lunas 11-8.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it here. We'll talk about this a little bit. It's just a 30-second timeout. The pace seems to fit what Hobbs has done all season, but it's still been a little bit sloppy back and forth and haven't quite found our rhythm as of yet.
Well, I don't know if they were expecting Los Lunas to come out so far on the perimeter. You're mentioning the zone defense in the pregame show, but they're coming out and contesting near the half-court zone, and really starting to see some bobbling by the Lady Eagles guards at this point. Not feeling at ease quite yet, but if they get more push around the ball around the perimeter, that's when Turbiatas starts to float in the lane and waits for the ball.
Yeah, that's true. And we started the same way in the last game, too, where we started off with, it seemed like we were just a bit too wound up, and our shots were a little bit too hard, a little bit too forced. We're kind of doing the same thing that we started off with the last game as.
And that's why we had a timeout. Coach Carpenter talking to his troops to try to get back in this one. The biggest deficit so far, 3 points now. Los Lunas up 11-8.
Here's the Hobbs Lady Eagles working against the 1-2-2 press. They're just backing it off. Left side, Brett Clay. She's just entered the game. Here's Hargrove. Hargrove into the corner, Trubiata. She's going to take a three. Right hands it, no good. Ball's loose. Clay's going to let it go out of bounds, and that'll be Los Lunas basketball.
And that's what I mentioned that game Tuesday night as well, too, is a lot of three shots being fired up there. I'm not sure, not many of them dropping or even some of them not even hitting the rim. I kind of get away from that, start getting it back down to Turbiata. She started off with 8 big points, and now it's kind of getting to a dry spell.
Here's Hohola against the press, comes across to Gabaldon. Gabaldon swings under pressure. Hohola, she's backing it out, pointing for some help. She wants a pick. Instead goes right side to Guest. Guest double team, goes to Hohola. Hohola's going to swing. She picks it up, goes to Gabaldon. Gabaldon under pressure. Brett Clay's all over the court. Here's right side Otero. Otero's going to give it to Gabaldon. She's going to drive. Gabaldon has it stolen from behind. Joseph now has it, and it goes to Anthony. She's off to the races. Anthony accelerates, goes up with the right hand, and she's going to be fouled, and she'll be at the line to shoot two.
Boy, Coach Zeller's yelling at his defenders down in the paint, waiting too long on that first step as Anthony took off to the hoop and made the Los Lunas Tigers pay for it.
And, she didn't step out on that one. She was just kind of parked when she was waiting on like a curbside delivery or something instead of getting in front of the for the attacker.
First free throw's a break off the back of the rim. Wisdom Anthony came into this contest from the charity stripe at 55%. The team itself having some problems this year, 46% from the charity line.
29 seconds left here in the first as Anthony makes the second one, cuts the lead to 11-9. Here's the press. They go across to Hall. Hall looks back door, swings it back to Guest. She still hadn't got it across the timeline. Right side, Hohola. Works to Gabaldon. She goes over top to Guest. Swatted away! Deep sixth by Anthony Joseph. Off to the races. Here they go. Here's Wisdom Anthony with the right hand. It's up. It's good! The game is tied. 3 seconds on the clock. Guest, right side, Hohola. They don't realize the clock's expiring. Here's Otera. Throws it away. Hall, no shot. It's before the buzzer. And that'll be an 11-11 game at the end of one. We'll be back after these messages. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on the Eagle 100.5.
Get excited, Brian. Clear.
1 minute, please.
Okay. Three, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. We're tied up at 11 apiece. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles and the Los Lunas Tigers. And It was a back and forth, exciting game there in the first quarter. Neither team really able to get an advantage.
Well, a good start for Nia Joseph. Had 8 points in that first quarter. Wisdom Anthony went 1 of 2 from the line, had a bucket, had 3. On the other side is Felina Gabaldon with 6 points, 3 for Mia Guest, and Tatum Hanks hit a bucket for 2. So we got ourselves knotted up. 6-3 rebounding factor, though, for Los Lunas, and 6 turnovers for them, just 3 for the Lady Eagles.
Lady Eagles start the offense going left to right. Wisdom Anthony kicks it out left side. Brent Hargrove, long 3. Hargrove drains it. It's 14-11 Lady Eagles. Here's Hohola working against the press. Clay on the top of the press pressuring her. Comes near side. It goes to Hanks. Hanks, far side, cross to Guest. Guest comes across the timeline. Hohola, she looks at a long 3. She don't want it. Bounce pass to Gabaldon. Gabaldon to Guest. She's going to take that 3 this time. Off the iron. Ball's loose. Gabaldon with it. Swatted away. She gets it again. Goes over Joseph, in and out. And a rebound by Anthony. Anthony's off the races. Comes near side. Anthony's going to drive. She scoops under. Anthony with the right hand. Speed kills and does it there.
Yeah, Los Lunas not learning their lesson in the paint, and we got to put a body on Gabaldon down there on the defensive boards, and she's getting a lot of rebounds.
Here's Otero under pressure. Hands to Guest. Into the corner. Long 3 from Hohola. In. Drains it. And it's 16-14.
Second tray for the Tigers here in the first half.
Hargrove across the timeline to Anthony. Anthony looks at Hargrove again. Hargrove picks up her dribble, bounces it out. Anthony runs it down. Setting up the offense again. Anthony. Long 3 from Anthony. Way out. Calls it off the glass and gets it. NBA 3 range out there.
Second tray for the Lady Eagles now. Both teams with 2 apiece.
Hohola and Otero, they cross the timeline to Gabaldon. Back door to Hanks. Hanks throws it away. It goes to the line. Saved by Hohola. Into the hand of Guest. Guest under pressure. Hands it to Hohola. She's getting pressured by Clay. In trouble. Time's expiring on her. She gives it to Gabaldon. Clay's working that whole court over there. Great defense from Brett Clay. Here's Gabaldon. Gabaldon 1 dribble. Outside to Hanks. They're looking back door. Hohola, long 3. She's got it from the corner, and it's 19-17.
Boy, they're letting her start to shoot those deep corner trays. Her second of the ball game, 3 for the Los Lunas Tigers. That's a girl that scored 12 points in the double overtime win over Cleveland Tuesday in the quarterfinals.
Hargrove bounce past Anthony. She's going to drive. Anthony in the lane under pressure. They're going to get her with a charge. Stepped up under her, and that girl was stuck to the court like peanut butter.
Did you see the whole bench of Los Lunas running up to the edge of the baseline like it was a state championship win there, and the whole team was just converging on the court. They better be careful about that.
Yeah, and Gabaldon paid for that one. She must have busted a lip or something. She's taking her mask off and keeps feeling for that lip. 19-17 Lady Eagles. Here's Guest working against the press. Clay on her. Near side Otero. Otero back to Guest. Here's the pressure. Gabaldon. Backdoor Hohola. She's going to drive. Middle of the lane. She's going to try to kick it to Hall. It's not there as it goes out of bounds. And that'll be Lady Eagles basketball.
Boy, Hall was not even looking for the ball. It's a perfect pass coming down the paint that time. That would have been an easy layup on the right side. That is turnover number 7.
And Hall left the court, and she doesn't realize she was subbed for, and the subs didn't make it in. So now Hall has to step back onto the court. Here's Joseph. Joseph hands to Anthony. Anthony looks for Clay. Clay wants a 3. Clay with the right hand, no good. Ball's loose. Trubiatis comes down with it. Back to Joseph. Joseph, fadeaway jumper. She's going to be fouled. Gabaldon, that's her second. And Joseph will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, she's got about 3 inches on top of Gabaldon that time. Not a very smart attempt at a block, and going to pay the price on that one. Actually, they call that instead on Clarissa Hall. That's her second. And the 14th foul against Los Lunas.
And I'm not sure Hall was anywhere near that play. Here's Joseph with the right hand, no good.
So Lady Eagles now with the free throw situation, 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. Kind of near where they were last night, 30%, or Tuesday night, 30% right now at 33.
5 minutes, 4 seconds on the clock. Lady Eagles with a 19-17 lead. Right hand from Joseph, this one's good.
Puts her in the tied up for first in the scoring right now. Actually first now with 9 points. Anthony with 8 with that big tray she hit just seconds ago.
Gabaldon breaks the press to Hohola. She's going to take a long 3. Right hands it. She's got it. The game's tied.
3 trays for Hohola. All of her points, 9 on the scoreboard. And another 3 from Guest. They've got 4 trays.
And this Los Lunas team has proven that they can shoot. Across the timeline, left side Hall. Hall looking at Trubiatis. Hall's going to step out. Here's Anthony. Anthony working against Guest. Hall wants a three. No good. It's off the iron. Hohola with the rebound. She's being checked by Clay. Round the back, comes near side, pushes off a little bit. No call. Here's Hall. Backdoor to Gabaldon, knocked out of bounds by Anthony, and that'll be Los Lunas basketball.
Yeah, Anthony started to see the ball being shoved over the top of her head that time, just kind of flicked her hands up in the air and got a piece of it. Luckily, that would have gone to the hoop for a layup.
This has been a great back-and-forth game so far. Hohola inbound, goes top to Guest, into the corner. Here's Hohola. Hohola backs out her dribble under pressure. Flips it to Gabaldon. Gabaldon's looking for Hall, not there. Now looking for the back door. Gabaldon's going to flip it. Long shot by Otero, in and out, no good. Ball's back in off the rim. Shooters roll, and it's 23-20, Los Lunas.
6 trays, 18 points. You subtract that from Los Lunas, they'd only have 5 on the scoreboard, so they're definitely hurting us from the perimeter.
A lot of battle going on underneath for the position with Trubiatis and Hall. Top of the key, Clay. Left side, here's Erilyn Hall. Hall steps out in trouble, hands it to Anthony. Anthony dribble drive. Anthony pops, fires, got it. Anthony drains it, and Gabaldon picks up the foul. And a chance for Wisdom Anthony to complete a three-point play.
Boy, Gabaldon putting her hands up in the air to her coach and said that was solid. I think that little bit of a forced shot there, Coach. I mean, it looked like she probably should have passed that off, but she got hipped. Luckily got the call and the chance for a three-point.
And she made the shot. That's just amazing. He misses the free throw, but Clay has the rebound, has it stripped away by Hall. Hall under pressure. Foul. That's going to be a push on Erilyn Hall. As Clarissa Hall from Los Lunas is the one with the rebound.
That's just the third personal or third team foul, 2 against Erilyn Hall. And it's a 1-point lead for Los Lunas, 23-22 with 3:33 remaining here in the second.
Here's Hohola working against the press. She takes the step, fires it near side Otero. Otero taking the time. Gabaldon middle of the defensive zone. Comes across the timeline to Hohola. Guest sets up the offense. Left side Hohola. Crowd getting into it. Swings it around Otero. Otero looking for Gabaldon. It's not there. Hands it to Guest. She's checked by Hall. Guest with the left hand. She's going to drive, float. Hands it to Clarissa Hall. She goes up, and it's going to be a walk, and she kind of hops sideways.
I think she was trying to get a grip on the basketball and just kind of fumbled her feet around a little bit. She did have possession of it, so that's why the ref got her underneath. 8 turnovers so far for Los Lunas, doubling what Hobbs has at 4.
Los Lunas up by 1. 3 minutes here left in the second period. Across the timeline is Anthony with the right hand. Anthony works it to Bryn Hargrove. Back to Anthony. Top of the key. Hargrove left side. Pump fakes. Give it back to Anthony. Anthony's going to dribble drive. She's going to kick. Fire with the right hand off the glass. Joseph's there. She misses. Ball's still loose. It's going to go off of Joseph as she tries to dive for it. And that'll be Los Lunas basketball.
Kind of hard to believe that was just the first rebound for Anaya Joseph in this game. Of course, against Sandia this past Tuesday, she had 12 rebounds, but she does have 9 points, which is better than her rebounding in the last game.
Here's Clarissa Hall to inbound for Los Lunas. It goes to Mia Guest. Guest with the right hand, working against pressure. Hall back to Hohola. Hohola swings as the Hobbs defense catches up. Hohola needs help. She's asking for it. She goes over the top to Clarissa Hall, and Hall's going to hit Clay, and Clay takes one right in the mouth. No call, and the fans are livid. Otero, top of the key, Hohola, looks for Gabaldon. Gabaldon in trouble. Goes to Otero in the corner, and they lose it. That'll be Lady Eagles basketball.
Los Lunas now 1 away from double digits of turnovers. They've got 9, and that was one of those unforced errors, just overthrew a teammate that left corner. Doing a lot of backdoor cutting, too. They are a good team for looking around the perimeter and inside the paint to see what's open. That time, a little bit of too much mustard on the pass.
Wisdom Anthony gets it started. Here's Bryn Hargrove. Looks back to Anthony. Anthony right side. Clay wants a long 3 off the iron. Rebound Joseph. She puts it back off the glass, and she's got another one.
Joseph now with 11 points and 2 rebounds.
Guest working against the press. Right side, Clarissa Hall. Steps her off. That's Hanks, actually. It's going to be stolen away. Trubiatis picks the dribble up, goes right side. It's going to go to Clay. Clay's going to drive. They're going to get a push right there, and that'll be against Los Lunas, the 16th foul.
That's Mia Guest, her first. And the Lady Eagles are starting to take advantage of some errant passes from Los Lunas, starting to get a little bit lackadaisical on the transition up the court.
24-23, 140 on the clock here. Second quarter action. Ball's inbounded right into the hands of Lucero. It goes to Hohola. She's going to hand it over to Hanks, and Hanks right hands it in.
Second bucket for Hanks, her 4th point of the ball game, and Los Lunas up 25-24, 120 left here in the second.
Wisdom Anthony getting it started. Here's Brent Hargrove, goes back door, looks for Joseph. Long shot from Joseph off the iron, controlled by Gabaldon.
No rebounds on that one, just a shot from the big post.
Back pass goes to Hanks. Hanks misses everything. Hohola sneaks in, steals it. She wants a long three. It's off the front of the iron. Hargrove controls it. Round the back, she slows it down. Left side, here's Anthony. Anthony wants a long three. No good. Ball's loose into the hands of Trubiatis, and Gabaldon gets under her. That'll be a foul on Gabaldon. Her 3rd personal foul, and she's going to have to go to the bench here.
I think maybe Coach Carpenter has told his players to try to take those shots, a kind of a lean look towards your defender, especially Gabaldon, to get her in foul trouble. As you mentioned, she's going to have to leave here pretty quickly with 6 points, and still nobody off the bench yet, Coach.
Interesting strategy here from Coach Zeller as Trubiatis misses the free throw.
Hobbs just 2 of 6 from the charity stripe at 33%. Not helping their cause. They want to tie this game up.
Second opportunity does just that. Here's Lucero to inbound. Hands it to Guest. Guest working against Clay. She goes over the top, almost stolen by Trubiatis. Hanks backdoors it. Lucero, she walks with it, and they got her.
That's going to be the 11th turnover for Los Lunas, and they start to get a little bit ahead of themselves there, moving those feet and not getting a grip on the basketball. That's because of the pressure. Lady Eagles love to get in those passing lanes and cause some havoc.
And Gabaldon losing her cool there. Coach is subbing her out, but she stomped her foot over at Lucero, upset about that turnover.
We're tied at 25, 43 seconds left before the half. This is what you expect in a semifinal game of the 5A state basketball tournament at Tasker.
Here's Wisdom Anthony coming across the timeline. Under pressure, she's going to sneak around Hanks. She's going to spin through the lane, dumps it back door. It's Trubiatis. She spins, she fires, right hand no good. Joseph's there. She's going to put it up no good. Brett Clay has it, and they're going to get a push. And this one's going to go against Mia Guest.
So Guest will pick up her second. That's going to be the 17th foul. Bonus time for the Lady Eagles, so they'll get on the line to shoot. And that's going to get a chance for Brett Clay, who just came off the bench recently. She'll get a chance to get in the scorebook here.
Clay's been very active on defense.
She's shooting 66% from the charity stripe this season.
And they're bringing Gabaldon back on here. That is a big risk, having 3 fouls in the first half to bring her back on the floor.
We saw that same strategy with Sandia. Remember that girl on Tuesday night? She definitely was in foul trouble at one point, and their coach electing to put her out there, the UNM signee. So coaches just want to do whatever they can to be the number 1 seed.
Clay makes the first one. So it really surprises me. They have more guts than I do. I could not take that risk in the game.
No, there's no way. I mean, this season's on the line here. There's no more tomorrows.
Clay's second one in and out, rebounded by Clarissa Hall. Hall with the elbows again. Throws it ahead. Here's Hohola. Hohola's going to cross over. She backs it out, starts it up with 17 on the clock. Clarissa Hall, backdoor Guest. Long three from Guest, in and out. Ball's loose. It's going to be out of bounds. They're going to give it to Los Lunas.
A quick first step on the rebounds for Los Lunas. They're getting touches on every missed shot. Hobbs is kind of waiting flat-footed. They got to get there quicker. They got some feet speed, so they need to use it here.
10 seconds on the clock, looking to inbound, having trouble. They go to Gabaldon. Gabaldon misses with the right hand. Hall goes over the back. They're off to the races. Right hands it to Trubiatis. Trubiatis with the right hand finish. And she's got it as the time expires. It's the Lady Eagles 28, Los Lunas 25. We'll be back with the halftime show after these messages. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on the Eagle 100.5.
You are clear.
3 minutes, please.
Yes, sir. 1 minute. Three, two, one.
Welcome back to Titletown, USA, Tasker Arena. Hobbs Lady Eagles 28 and the Los Lunas Tigers 25 in a nip and tuck battle. This has been an exciting game so far.
Yeah, it definitely has. Of course, a lot of ties in the game. It was in that first quarter, 11-11. Hobbs did outscore Los Lunas in the second quarter, 17-14, so a 3-point advantage at the half by 28-25. So kind of glad to see that score did go into the Lady Eagles' favor finally, because for a while, Los Lunas was up by as many as 3 points in that first half. So Hobbs started to kind of subdue them a little bit with the pressure defense, some bad passing coming across the timeline, kind of started to hurt the Los Lunas Tigers. They've got 11 turnovers right now, Hobbs with only 5.
You know, and I think the turnover battle is going to be the biggest thing in the end, whether Los Lunas can keep this pace up against the press, or whether at some point the press takes poison in and starts to make their guards become a little bit looser with the ball.
Right now, Los Lunas has 5 scores in the books. Natalie Hohola with 9 points, all 3 coming on trays. There's been 5 3-pointers converted in the first half for Los Lunas. Felina Gabaldon with 6 points on 3 buckets. Taden Hanks hit a couple of buckets for 4. And Mia Guest and Jessica Otero both hit a tray for 3 points apiece. In terms of rebounding, they've got 10, 4 for Gabaldon, and 2 apiece for Guest, Hall, and Hohola. Again, 11 turnovers in the first half. And Los Lunas is yet to shoot a free throw so far, so that's a big situation going on there. They've had some good penetration in the paint, a lot of second and third shots going up on the rebounding as well. You'd think they might have pulled one there, but hasn't happened as of yet. On the Lady Eagles side, 2 players in double digits already. Anaya Joseph, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. And she had a big line of points in that first quarter where she had 4 buckets and 8. In fact, I think she had like 3 of the first buckets for the Lady Eagles in that quarter. So definitely doing a good job there in the scoring. Wisdom Anthony, thanks to 7 points in the second quarter, has 10, second leading scorer on the team, is 1 of 3 from the charity stripe and 3 rebounds as well, just like Joseph. Elise Turbiatis with 3 points, 1 of 2 from the line. Those all coming in the second quarter. Also 2 rebounds and 2 block shots in the first half. And Brent Hargrove came off the bench, the 8th grader who hit a tray in the game. Hobbs has had 2 3-pointers in the first half. Lady Eagles with 5 scores so far. In terms of the free throw situation, they are, let's see, 3 or make it 4 of 9 from the charity stripe. The Lady Eagles with just 5 turnovers, again 11 for Los Lunas. And the rebounds right now, Hobbs up on Los Lunas 11-10. The leader on the boards, a tie actually, Wisdom Anthony and Anaya Joseph both with 3. Brent Hargrove and Elise Turbiatis with 2 apiece. So that's your numbers for the half as the Hobbs Lady Eagles lead by 3, 28-25.
It's going to be an exciting second half, and we'll get it underway after these messages. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5.
You're clear.
Thank you. 2 minutes.
Thank you. 10. Three, two, one.
Welcome back to Hobbs High School. Hobbs Lady Eagles 28, the Los Lunas Tigers 25, and both teams getting ready to come back out on the floor here for a second half action tie. With it being back and forth like this and turnovers being at a premium, what do you think the inside game is going to turn into in the second half?
Well, you got gobbled on with those 3 fouls. That could be something you can go at pretty tough. You got a couple of post players. They're kind of going more to Joseph right now than they are to Turbiatis. But Turbiatis is one of those floaters. She's always around the basket somewhere and will just be at the right place at the right time.
And she's one of those kids that can do it all. And, you talk about the 4 different Los Lunas girls that have already signed. It amazes me because Trubiathis is one of those players that can play at that level. And so far, she remains unsigned. And hopefully this is one of those games where she can break out and show what she can do and maybe get some of that attention for herself. I
think that's something what we saw at the Hobbs boys this year, the same type of situation. We've been going up against teams that have one big star. We saw that on Tuesday with Sandia, and we're seeing that tonight with Gabaldon. Both those players were in foul trouble at one point as well, so maybe the crowd can kind of get into in their head just a little bit to get that noise going up because they're not used to playing in front of crowds this year. This is only their second game they've had them. I mentioned in the pregame show they had to play at Cleveland on Tuesday night. That game was with the crowd. That was the first time they had one, and now this is the second one. I'm sure this one a lot louder than the first.
You talked about all the three-pointers. When the game is this pace and your adrenaline's kicking in and you're making all those three-pointers and it's at that pace, at some point you're going to get tired and you've got to make those three-pointers to stay in it. Question is, are they going to be able to make those three-pointers in the second half to stay in this game with the Lady Eagles?
That's a good point. The problem is we were letting way too many down in that left corner, and continuing to tank them off was Natalie Hohola. She had 3 trays all in the second quarter. She saw a little opening, and she put her foot in it, and she put that ball through the hole. We got to have pressure out there, not give her a chance to open up down there waiting for the ball. That's going to hurt us. I want to mention, too, Coach, at the other semifinal game tonight going on in Albuquerque, Volcano Vista at 11-0 against El Dorado 7-2. That doesn't tip off until 7 o'clock, so we got a few minutes before that. We'll try to keep updated because that will be the winner of that game playing the winner of this one tonight.
And that's going to be what we're waiting for. You can't help yourself but start thinking ahead. You don't want to do that. You got to take care of Los Lunas first. But, man, it's nice to look at the bracket and see how far you've gone.
And the big thing about this game, too, is both these teams are used to championships. Hobbs last year and Los Lunas 3 years in a row in the 4A.
Los Lunas with the ball to start the second half. They're working left to right on your radio dial or on your TV screen, streaming here on YouTube.com and live on the radio at Hobbs 100.5, the Eagles. Stolen away by Wisdom Anthony as they work it into Gabaldon. Anthony off to the races. She goes back door. She's got Trubiatis. She finishes with the right hand, and it's 30-25, a 5-point Lady Eagle lead.
Trubiatis 5 points, and now 12 turnovers for Los Lunas. That's the way to start a half.
Hohola across the timeline. Gabaldon. She sets her feet. Gabaldon swings it back and hands to Hohola. Left side, Guest. Guest is a shooter. Here's Gabaldon in the lane. She goes up and under, swatted away. Trubiatis with the block. Wisdom Anthony, left side, Clay. Clay looks at the three, doesn't want it, goes back to Anthony. One dribble, pops. Anthony's got it. And just like that, it's 33-25. It's an 8-point lead.
Wisdom Anthony with 13 points, the third tray for the Lady Eagles.
Hohola works it to Guest. You can feel the air starting to get alive here. Top goes to Hall, back door to Otero. And they got a call here. It's a timeout on the floor. We'll be back after this message. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on the Eagle 100.5.
Clear.
30, please.
Yes, sir. Three, two, one.
Welcome back. 33-25. Lady Eagles now have an 8-point lead just like that. 6:53 on the clock here in the third quarter. And Los Lunas having to inbound the ball at half court. And you talked about that press. You talked about the speed. You talked about the shooting. Hobbs Lady Eagles, at any point in this game has shown that they can do it all. Here's Guest across the timeline, right side. It goes to Otero. Otero swinging around, checked by Hall. Goes to Hohola. Gabaldon backdoor to Guest. Fakes the pump. She's going to bring it back to Gabaldon. Gabaldon, Hohola into the corner. Trubiatis checks her. Top of the key. Hohola wants a long three off the iron. Controlled by Clay. Long rebound. This one's off to the races. Sends it ahead. Trubiatis underneath the basket. Lays it in, and it's a 10-point Lady Eagle lead.
Yeah, we were talking at halftime about how getting her moving around a lot is going to help the cause. She's got 2 buckets in the third and 7 overall.
And you can start to see the energy level dropping from Los Lunas here against the press. Otero picks up her feet, picks up the other foot, and they're going to jump ball, be Lady Eagles basketball. But, boy, she switched pivot feet twice in there.
So that'll be another turnover for Los Lunas, their 13th in the ball game. The Lady Eagles had their biggest lead of the night at 10 points, 35-25 here in the third.
Trubiatis to inbound, mass substitutions here for Los Lunas.
Livia Lucero checks on for Clarissa Hall.
Here's Wisdom Anthony with the left hand to get us started. Hands to Erilyn Hall, back to Anthony, working it slow. Anthony takes her time, bounce pass to Trubiatis. She swings, spins, fades, right hand off the iron. Rebound by Clay. Clay goes up off the glass. No good. Gabaldon with the rebound. Gabaldon double team. Gets it out to Lucero. Lucero's trying to push it up the court. Lucero throws it over to Mia Guest. Guest across the timeline. Now Guest is going to set up the offense. Left side, Hohola. Back to Guest. Guest going to step out. Hohola looks for the three. Doesn't want it. He works it through Lucero. Backdoor Hanks. Hanks back to Guest. Guest is going to drive in the lane up against Joseph, and she floats up and gets it. And that's the first basket here in the second half for Los Lunas.
Hobbs kind of lunging at the pass at the top of the perimeter. That gave him enough time to slip through and get that shot in the paint.
35-27. Here's Joseph. Joseph looks at Trubiatis. Long jumper. In and out. Ball's loose. Controlled by Gabaldon. Gabaldon bounce passes to Guest. They're off to the races. Guest comes across the timeline. Checked by Clay, goes Hohola, hauls out on her, gives it to Lucero. She's backdoor Hanks. Hanks goes to Gabaldon. Gabaldon's looking at the cutter. It's going to be stolen away. Saved by Clay, but they're going to say she stepped on the line, and that'll be Los Lunas basketball. And Coach Zeller off the bench once again, very animated over there.
He's got some size out there. I'm sure he played some high school and college basketball. Looks like Erilyn Hall's going to take a seat. Checking in for the Lady Eagles is Bryn Hargrove.
Guest gets him started, works it left side, Hohola. Hohola, top of the key, Hanks, almost stolen away. Guest looks to drive, Clay resets it. Goes to Hanks, Hanks, backdoor pass, Gabaldon, swatted away, but there's a foul on the call, and Gabaldon will be shooting two.
Yeah, Wisdom Anthony got a nice touch on the ball, but then she came down on her forearm and kind of ripped down on it, and you can see the body kind of spinning to the side by Gabaldon.
Here in the second half, you've seen Los Lunas have to work a lot more for what they're getting than Hobbs has.
Coach, this is the first free throw of the night for Los Lunas. Gabaldon on the line to shoot two.
Gabaldon's first opportunity, in and out, back in again, and she drains it. 35-28, 7-point Lady Eagle lead, 4:40 in the third. Gabaldon once again, 4 dribbles low, and she spins it. In and out, ball's loose. It's going to be controlled by Lucero. Lucero hands to Hohola. Hohola wants a long three. Off the iron. Rebound Joseph, and over the back. Who's this going to be on? This is going to be on Gabaldon. I think that's her fourth.
Yeah, if that is her, that would be her fourth, as you mentioned. Yes, it is. Of course, she's got 7 points as well. They definitely don't want to lose her rebounding. 6 boards so far and leading the team on the glass for the Tigers.
And Coach Zeller's assistant coach got up and was telling the referee, hey, you should have called it on 55, and the referee told him to sit down. Coach Zeller about to get a technical from his assistant coach there. Here's Clay left side. Hands to Anthony, back to Clay. Clay's looking for Hargrove. She's going to reset. Hands it Trubiatis. Spin move from Trubiatis. Nice left-hand finish, and it's 37-28.
3 buckets for Elise in the third quarter, and a total now of 9.
Gabaldon across the timeline. Backdoor pass, spins it around. Hohola looks, she doesn't want it. Kicks it to Guest. Guest, long three, in and out. Rebound Joseph. Joseph hands it out, off to the races. It's 3-on-1. Here's Anthony. Anthony puts the afterburners on, spins ball over to Trubiatis, and she lays it in with the right hand, another basket.
She's got 8 points in the third quarter. Joseph had 8 points in the first quarter. The two post players are loving what they're doing in that inside the paint.
And Gabaldon is still on the floor here. Saved by the Lady Eagles on the steal. Ahead to Hargrove. The 8th grader throws it up, but Trubiatis there to clean it up and put it in. It's 41-28.
13 for Elise Turbiatis and 10 in this quarter. Nobody's going to stop the big girl.
Hanks across the timeline, Lucero. No timeout here for Los Lunas. Right side, Hohola to Lucero. Lucero looks at Gabaldon, not there. Hanks flips it to Guest. Guest's going to drive, spins around, back to Hanks. Hanks doesn't want it. Here's Guest. She's going to take the three. In and out. Ball's loose. Taken by the Lady Eagles. Wisdom Anthony across the timeline. Gives it to Clay, and they set up the offense. Here's Hargrove. Hargrove steps out. Looks at Clay, right side. Clay wants the three. She slings it and got it. The gunslinger puts it in from the outside, and it's 44-28.
First tray of the game for Clay as her first points in the books. It looks like Coach Zeller needs to quiet this Tasker crowd. They're on their feet, and they're tasting another championship game at the pit.
44-28. We'll be back after this message. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on the Eagle 100.5.
Where?
1 minute, please.
Three, two, one.
Welcome back to Titletown, USA. Tasker Arena here in Hobbs. 44-28, the Lady Eagles over the Los Lunas Tigers. And it's 2:36 here left in the third. And boy, that was a quick turn of events there, Ty.
Yeah, definitely doing a great job out there, the Lady Eagles. They've had 16 points in this third quarter, only 3 for Los Lunas, and now the biggest lead of the game at 16.
Inbounds for Los Lunas here. I just realized that Hobbs only played 7 players tonight. Comes across the timeline, right side Hohola. Stolen away by Hargrove. Guest runs it down. She goes to Kirsten Hall. The ball's loose. Trubiatis had a beat on it and is going to go out of bounds off of a Los Lunas player, Lady Eagle basketball.
16 now turnovers for the Tigers. That's not a formula for success here at Task Arena, because when you start getting blood in the water, you've got a bunch of hungry fans wanting that red meat, and they're going to get it, and it's going to get a lot of enthusiasm for the defense. Just to kind of suck it up and go after that basketball.
Brett Clay into the game for Joseph. Here's that's Clay working the ball to Trubiatis. She's going to go up and under, and they're going to get her for a charge.
That's only the first foul on Turbiatis. Second team foul on the Lady Eagles. This game has been moving along quite quickly. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. We started at 6, and we're almost through the third quarter.
Not a lot of foul calls. That's why.
True.
Yeah, free throws tend to slow you down.
It's 2-1 right now. Only 3 here. I'm almost done with that third.
And they've played very clean. Left side. Now it's to the right side, Hohola. Guest works it to Hall to Lucero. Lucero's going to pick up her dribble, goes to Guest. She's going to dribble drive out to Hanks. Hanks doesn't want it. Guest pump fakes in the triple threat position, goes to Lucero. She pivots around, gives it to Guest again. Lucero, she wants it. Lucero off the iron, ball's loose, saved, out of bounds. Lady Eagles will give that one back to Los Lunas.
It was a save on the right baseline there for Brett Clay. I think she was trying to get the ball out on transition. Guards weren't ready for it out there, but good thought. She didn't throw it towards the basket, which you never want to do that, but did kind of push it outside to see if we can get some transition.
There really wasn't a reason for her to go after it other than the transition, because it would have been out on Los Lunas after the shot. Here's Guest, top of the key. She starts it up. Left side, Hohola, looking like she's playing with a little more energy here. Into the corner. Otero wants it. Right hand, no good. Rebound, Lady Eagles. We're off to the races. 5 in transition already. Here's Wisdom Anthony. She's going to take it herself off the glass. No good. It's loose. And shot by Joseph, no good. Now they're going to scrum for it on the ground. Quick jump call. And all the players on the floor there showing some sportsmanship. Nobody throwing elbows or fighting. They just accept the jump ball and move on.
Nia Joseph, that's her 5th board. Anthony has 5 rebounds as well. 13 points for Anthony and 11 for Joseph. And 13 for Turbiatis, 10 of those here in the 3rd quarter.
Here's the inbounds. Lucero works at the far side. Otero against the press. Hobbs looking to take advantage. Here's Guest. They're running out of time. They didn't get it across. Saw that coming there. She was taking too much time. Come up to the line, and that's a 10-second call.
Also the 17th Los Lunas turnover. And they're not doing themselves any favors with these unforced errors. It's something you got to continue to move forward and get this ball up court because you're down by 16. And we see Turbiatis coming back as Coach Carpenter is starting to move people in and out now.
And he's doing a little X's and O's. When he saw Gabaldon went to the bench, he's matching up. He brought Turbiatis in to take advantage of it. Here's Hargrove, long 3, left side, in and out. There's Joseph with the right hand. She's got it on the rebound.
That's going to be a total of 12 points here in this 3rd quarter, 15 overall, and the 4th rebound for Turbiatis.
46-28, Lady Eagles lead. Near side, Hall looking for Guest. It isn't there. She goes back door to Hanks. Hanks over the top into Guest into the corner. Top of the key, Hohola. Shoulder fake from Hohola. Dribble drives. A lot of little action there. Didn't go nowhere. Here's Guest backing it out. Stolen away by Hargrove, but Guest gets it back. Hanks tracks it down. Turbiatis had a beat on it. Hohola from the left side. Hohola, man, she was thinking 3 all the way.
That's her 4th tray of the game. All of her 12 points from that 3-point arc.
46-31, 10 seconds on the clock. Here's Hargrove. Hargrove running out of time. There's 5. They go to Anthony. She's going to fade away. Anthony is going to throw it off the iron as the time expires. 46-31. We're back after this message. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5.
Clear.
30 seconds, please.
Okie dokie. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back. 46-31. Hobbs Lady Eagles up on Los Lunas. And we appreciate all of you watching at home and really like to thank those sponsors that we have that help us bring this to you, because this is a wonderful thing that we're able to bring both the video and the audio. And Ty Friend, I'd like to thank those sponsors. Who do you got?
XL Energy, Cappuccino Coffee House, Hydrotech Services, also the Rental Center, RMS Foods, Hobbs Rental, Outlaw Grill, Lasco Construction, IDS, R360, Albertsons, and New Mexico Junior College. And again, we've got 82 watching us on YouTube all over the country tonight. Also want to remind you, too, Volcano Vista and El Dorado are tipping off here pretty soon, and they will be the other semifinal game on tap for the 5A state basketball tournament. We've got 3 players with 13 apiece, Anthony, Turbiatis, and Joseph, as the Lady Eagles get the ball to start the 4th.
Turbiatis, top of the key, works it to Hargrove right side, and the offense is underway. Left side, Joseph. Joseph's going to drive. She's going to pick up her dribble and kick it back out to Anthony. Anthony breaks down the defense into the corner. Anthony, long 2 off the iron. Controlled by Turbiatis. She's going to kick it out to Hargrove. Hargrove, she splits the defenders back to Joseph. Joseph goes back out to Wisdom Anthony. Swings it around. Turbiatis to Brett Clay. Back to Turbiatis. She's being checked by Hall. Right side, Brenton Hargrove. Backing it out a little bit. Here's Wisdom Anthony. Back door to Hargrove. Hargrove swings it to Clay. Back to Turbiatis. She's going to drive the lane. Turbiatis drains it with the left hand and is fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 1.
15 points for Elise Turbiatis. She saw the people stacked in the paint. She weaved through 3 of them, went to the rack, and was a couple of steps ahead of all of them as she laid it up and got pushed from behind.
48-31. 17-point lead here with a chance to add on to it. She fires it, and she drains it.
16 points for Turbiatis, 2 for 3 from the line.
Here's Hohola working against the press. Guest near side Hanks. Hanks back to Guest. One dribble, goes across Lucero. Back door to Hall. Guest going to drive. Hohola wants a long three again. She's got it. Somebody's got to get out on her.
She has not made any bucket but trays in this game. 15 points on 5 of those three-pointers.
Across the timeline, Wisdom Anthony showing a little bit of leadership there. Goes Brett Clay. Brett Clay fires a three, no good. Saved by Joseph, but out of bounds. That'll be Los Lunas basketball.
Was the 7th rebound by Anaya Joseph along with her 13 points. 7 turnover, though, as she couldn't hold on to it long enough. Should mention, too, Los Lunas is led with 15 points by Natalie Hohola, all coming on those trays, as we mentioned. Felina Gabaldon was 7, but she's been hit with foul trouble here with 4 fouls so far.
And she's showing that college range. She's hitting from way out. Across the timeline, Gabaldon hands it to Guest, and they're underway. Guest left side, Hohola. Hohola with the right hand, flips it to Hall. Hall back out to Hohola. She wants another one. She's not backing down. Ball's going to be out of bounds. That'll be Los Lunas basketball. They're saying Anthony touched it.
Yeah, she was going to go rebound, and then she kind of hesitated at the last second, said, I'm going to let it go out, and the official on the baseline helped the other one out and said, hey, she did get a piece of it. Hobbs with a 2-3 zone now on defense.
Right side, Gabaldon in the lane. She's going to kick it out to Hall. Hall swings. She's looking for some help. Top of the key, Clay almost steals it. Gabaldon with a backdoor pass it was Hohola to Gabaldon, stolen away. Gabaldon rushes down, knocks it out of bounds. That'll be Lady Eagle basketball underneath the attacking basket.
Coach Carpenter got in the way of the official, ran right into him on the baseline and almost had a head-on-head collision there, and luckily he just be able to duck to get away from crashing those skulls.
Show a little cat-like reflexes there. Inbounds to Joseph, nobody there, and Joseph gets an easy basket.
That's her 15th point of the ball game, as she is second leading scorer behind Turbiatis' 16.
51-34. Hall breaks the zone press to the right. Comes across Lucero. Here's Hall. Hall's going to go over Joseph, but Joseph says, no, ma'am. She blocks it, and it's controlled by Trubiatis.
That's her second block of the ball game.
Hargrove, top of the key, Trubiatis. Los Lunas not chasing like they were. Right side, Joseph. Four-corner offense here for the Lady Eagles. Here's Wisdom Anthony. They're going to get her with a push-off as she attacks the lane. Guest gets in front of her, and she kind of gets the arm on her.
It looked like it almost palmed her head that time and just shoved her backward. That's the third on Wisdom, third team foul. Crowd's kind of moaning, but I think that was a pretty obvious. If you're watching on YouTube, you might have seen it.
Yeah, you might have seen it a little better. Look, you're saying as she palmed her head, it looked like a baptism?
Yeah, I don't know.
Near side, Hohola works across Otero. Otero back to Guest. Guest across the timeline. Out to Hall. Hall being checked by Anthony. Backdoor to Otero. She's going to drive. Otero up and under, and it's going to be swatted away by Trubiatis, but out of bounds.
Lady Eagles had their biggest lead of the ball game now, 17 points here with 5:08 left in the fourth, 51-34.
Inbound under the attacking basket. Looking for help. She doesn't have anybody. Now she hands to Gabaldon. Gabaldon kicks it out. Into the corner. Here's Guest. Guest with the right hand. Boy, these Los Lunas girls can shoot. She's got it.
That's her second tray of the ball game. Guest now with 8 points.
51-37. It's a 14-point lead.
8 trays for Los Lunas.
Hargrove, right side, top of the key, Trubiatis. She's going to drive through the lane. Here comes Hall, and Hall's going to get into her, and that's a foul. Let's see who they go against, whether it's Hall or Gabaldon. They were both there.
Gabaldon's praying right now. It's not her. It looks like they're going to go with the lower number, 22, so that will be against Hall, her third, and that will just be the third team foul against the Tigers with just 4:46 left in regulation.
First shot's up and good.
Turbiatis has made her last 2 free throws here in the fourth quarter and leads the team with 17 points. I don't think the Tigers are going to have to worry about a double overtime game tonight.
No, not the way this one's going. And I talked about Trubiatis wanting her shot. She's leading all scorers tonight. Here's her second opportunity. It's up and it's good as well.
18 now for Elise Turbiatis.
53-37. Hohola near side, goes back door, and it's going to be just thrown away. Hall saves it. Off to the races. Here comes Anthony. Anthony slows it down. She's going to take the jumper at the free throw line, and she's got it. Anthony's got 15.
Yeah, 3 in double figures in this ball game. Solid. All 3 of them had 13 at one point, and they're just wanting to continue to add on to that scoreboard.
Hall hands to Guest. The gym's getting pretty quiet now. Guest to Gabaldon. Gabaldon backdoor to Hohola. She likes that shot. Goes to Guest. She wants that one. Rebound by Joseph on the miss. Joseph takes it herself. Check that. That's Trubiatis. Trubiatis spins in the lane with the right hand. Trubiatis coast to coast.
Nice hook shot right in the thick of the paint, and now she's got 20 points to lead the Lady Eagles. Crowd is starting to get loud here. Their biggest lead now is 20.
Coach Zeller wants to talk it over, and the crowd lets him know he made the right decision. 57-37. We'll be back after these messages. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on the Eagle 100.5.
Clear.
1 minute, please.
Okay. Three, two, one.
57-37. The Lady Eagles are up on Los Lunas by 20. 3:52 here left in the game. And Los Lunas at this point has to do something. What do you think that's going to be, Ty?
Well, the threes have been working for them. They had eight trays up to this point, but that's a hard number to be whittling down, 20 with just 3:52 remaining. So Hobbs just needs to make sure they get a hand up and don't foul. I mean, these girls can shoot way out from the outside, so make sure you have a good hand up before there's any chance for a whistle.
I think Hobbs is going to keep them running, too, try to get them legs tired out so maybe they miss some threes. Guest works to Hanks. Hanks backdoor Gabaldon, not there. Stolen away by Trubiatis. Trubiatis sends it ahead to Clay. Clay tries to go backdoor to Joseph, knocked out of bounds by Los Lunas. Lady Eagle basketball.
That was the 20th turnover Los Lunas has costed to themselves as the Lady Eagle is putting a lot of pressure on. It looks like the Tigers are going to go to their bench and bring in a couple of subs.
This one of them we hadn't seen before. Sadie Ortega entered the game. Check that. That's Kylie Burgess.
She's the one that signed a track letter of intent to a school in North Dakota.
Here's Trubiatis. That's Jamestown College that she's going to go to. My wife is from Jamestown, North Dakota. Here's Hohola. She backs it out. She sets it up right side Guest. Guest into the corner. Lucero, she's going to dribble drive. Hands it to Hanks. She don't want it. Here's a long three in the right side. Guest misses. Hanks controls. Hanks spins around. She's been in the lane a long time. Stolen away. Clay has it. Clay crosses over and goes into the corner to Joseph. They're setting up, taking their time. Top of the key, Trubiatis. It goes to Anthony. Anthony to Hargrove. Getting some passes. Hargrove bounce passes around to Anthony. She's going to spin. Goes right side to Clay. They set it back up again. 2:42 on the clock. Clay drives. Joseph goes back to Clay. Clay with the right hand underneath and got it. Nice pass from Joseph in the corner from the post.
Clay kind of camouflaged there. She kind of just turned to the side. Looked like she was just looking out to pass again, then turned up and shot the ball to the hoop.
Here's Lucero. And hands it out to Burgess, and Burgess loses it.
22nd turnover for Los Lunas, and they'll look back at this video and say, why did we make so many mistakes? A lot of these were uncontested. There was a lot of pressure on them, too, but there's been a lot of turnovers where there was no defense really touching the ball.
Across the timeline, Hargrove. Hargrove, Trubiatis. Back to Hargrove, 2:13 on the clock. Right side, Clay. Joseph, she's going to dribble drive, hands it back out to Clay. She takes a three. No good air ball. Saved by Trubiatis, but into the hands of Ortega, and now it's a 4-on-2 fast break. Look at Hargrove hustle up the backside.
She bodied into her on defense. Guest was knocked off to the footing for a minute.
Three from Hohola on the far side. She's got it.
6 3-pointers for Hohola. Not one bucket, yet another three out there. Boy, she's unbelievable from the shot outside. 18 for Hohola, but I think a little bit too late for the Tigers. They trail by 19.
Yeah, you know, at this point, the clock is not their friend. I don't think they have a whole lot of time left to be able to do anything. But, man, how impressive is that shooting display that they're putting on? If it wasn't for the turnovers and the rebounding advantage that the Hobbs has at this point, this would be a very different ball game.
Well, can you imagine if they could step back to the 4A like they had the last 3 years of the state championships? They would have no contest with anybody, blow everybody out of the 4A this year, I'm imagining.
Probably correct there. But, you know, it's the thing. It goes off of numbers, and they're evidently growing in Los Lunas, and they're getting more population. But I bet you they're going to be a force for years to come because it looks like they've got a program that's going in the right direction.
So Hobbs getting ready for a state championship, it looks like, on Saturday. Don't have a time on that one. Yeah, I do have a score coming in from Albuquerque on the other semifinal game tonight. Volcano Vista leading El Dorado 14-5. That is in the first quarter. El Dorado undefeated on the season at 11-0, and Volcano Vista at 11-0, and El Dorado at 7-2. So a 9-point lead. That would be the opponent for the Lady Eagles, Volcano Vista, which they've had some experience of in the past.
I believe, trying to look on the thing, I thought Los Lunas had played El Dorado, but it does not look like that was one of their opponents. I don't see that on there, but inbounds for the Lady Eagles here, 59-40, 1:51 on the clock. Across the timeline, flips it back door to Clay. At this point, they're just trying to run clock out. Here's Trubiatis. She's going to kick it back door Hargrove. She don't want it. She's going to kick it out to Wisdom Anthony. Anthony, they start the count. They flip it over to Clay. Clay into the corner, Joseph. Joseph hands to Trubiatis. She spins and lays it up with the right hand. Trubiatis, 22 points on the night.
And she's had 9 here in this third quarter, had 10, or fourth quarter, 10 in the third. So definitely doing some big-time scoring the last 2 quarters.
Top of the key, Guest. Guest taking her time. I don't think they have time to do that. 1:13 on the clock. You're trailing by 21. Goes into Lucero. Ball's loose. It's going to be controlled by Lady Eagles. Back door, here comes Hargrove. No need to hurry here. Bounce pass to Joseph. Joseph's going to kick it out to Clay, and they start it up. All the way around, they swing it. Here's Hargrove for 3, no good. Joseph with the rebound. She goes back up off the iron. 51 seconds on the clock. She puts it back up again. They get a foul call, and Joseph goes to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Coach, just on that series right there, 3 rebounds, gets her a double-double now, 15 points and 10 boards, all because of second and third efforts.
Yeah.
Foul was called on Hohola, her second, 14th foul. And Joseph will get the 2 free throws. She's 1 of 2 from the line. I'll make another one on her point totals.
62-40, your score here. 48 seconds left on the clock. And what a big game from the freshman Joseph.
And she's got 16. She had a great first quarter, 8 points.
Coach kind of emptying the bench now. Second one's up. It's going to bounce around. It's loose. And into the hands of Mia Guest. Guest across the timeline. Goes to Hohola. They're starting the chant for start the bus there. Long 3 there from Guest, no good. Lady Eagles send it ahead. Here's Trubiatis again. She's going to be fouled from behind. Send her to the line to shoot 2.
Got swatted pretty hard on the arm that time. Natalie Hohola, that's her third, 15th foul. And that's one good thing you like about the Lady Eagles. They're not, I don't say you're running up to score. You're just playing basketball. Work on your game because you got a big one coming up on Saturday against probably Volcano Vista or maybe possibly El Dorado if a comeback comes up tonight. But still got to get the skills out. And these bench personnel that are coming in right now, very important for them to get rid of all those jitters because this is the big leagues now.
Trubiatis misses the first. And, man, Trubiatis, the senior leader here, 22 points on the night. And this is her final home game as a Lady Eagle in Tasker Arena.
Big standing O as a lot of the starters exit the court except for the shooter. And the free throw and nailing it is Turbiatis, so she will finish the game. 23 points.
And her final shot in a game in this gym was good on that free throw. 63-40, 23-point lead. Here comes the inbound, Hohola. She's going to go long baseball pass, trying to go over top to Gabaldon, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds.
I get a quick rundown on the subs on the court. Alexia Fabela out there. Also Clay, Brett Clay, who's been back a couple times tonight. Nakia Mojica on the court. And it looks like Vidania Buendia steps out as well, missing one more.
Carolina Saya is
There you
also
go.
into the game. She's in the corner waiting the pass. She gets the pass. She takes the three, no good. 5 seconds on the clock, rebounded by Otero, hands to Hohola, and this thing is over. Your final score here from Tasker Arena, the Lady Eagles 63, Los Lunas 40. We'll be back after these messages with the Lady Eagle postgame show on Eagle 100.5.
Clear.
3 minutes, please.
Yes, sir. One minute. Ten.
30 more.
$25. Five, three, two, one.
Welcome back. Your final score from Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Lady Eagles 63, the Los Lunas Lady Tigers 40, as Hobbs comes away with a 23-point victory and moves on to the state championship game on Saturday. And amazing thing to see a team that's so consistent and does as well as these Lady Eagles do, and really showing that they are a team that can do it in many different facets of the game.
Yeah, they kept putting up the big numbers in the second half. They didn't let up. I mean, they know that there's one more game possibly on the horizon, but they want to make sure this one was in the books. In fact, in that fourth quarter, they outscored Los Lunas 17-11. Definitely some big numbers to finish up the ball game. And when you have three in double digits, kind of putting the icing on the cake, you got to love what you're seeing out there with both the guard core and the post positions. Let's look at Los Lunas' scoring first. They finished the game with a couple of players getting up there. 18 for Natalie Hohola. And again, definitely shooting the lights out from the outside. She had 6 trays in the contest. That was all her point production, too, from three-point range. Also in the game with 8 points, Mia Guest. She finished with a couple of trays in the contest and had 4 rebounds. 7 for Felina Gabaldon. She finished up 1 of 2 from the line and had 6 rebounds. Tatum Hanks with 4 points, 2 rebounds. Jessica Otero hit a tray for 3 points as well. They had 8 3-pointers in this ball game. Only 2 free throw attempts, though, 1 of 2 from the line for 50%. They ended up with 5 scores, 18 rebounds in the game as Felina Gabaldon with 6 boards herself, 4 for Guest. But the big problem for them was turnovers, 22. A lot of those were caused by the Lady Eagles, but there was a lot of unforced errors if we were playing some baseball here.
And, to explain the free throw differential, they weren't going to the rim. And that's the thing. When you're shooting outside 3 feet beyond the three-point arc and shooting and nobody's in there getting into your body, you're not going to get the foul calls.
Hobbs Lady Eagles are really dumping in some big scoring tonight. Leading scorer, Elise Turbiata. She had 23 points, also 4 rebounds, 2 block shots, and was 6 of 7 from the charity stripe. That is her best numbers on the season from the free throw line. She came into the game just at 43%, so definitely doing a good job in terms of getting those free throws when they counted. Benaya Joseph, our paint mate there, 16 points, 10 rebounds, picked up a double-double tonight. And from the charity stripe was 2 for 4, so 50% there. Definitely very solid numbers. Also had a couple of block shots just like Turbiatas did. And last but not least in the double digits, Wisdom Anthony with 15 points, 7 rebounds. She also hit a couple of trays in the ball game, was 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. So those girls definitely put a lot of points in, 54 with those 3 combined out of the 63, so majority at the hands of those 3. Also, Jemiah Clay with 5 points, hit a tray, had 3 rebounds. Britt Hargrove came off the bench for a tray as well. She had 3 boards. And Brett Clay, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe for 1 point. Lady Eagles finished up with 6 scores in the game. One of their better free throw shooting nights, 10 of 16 for 62%. Only had 7 turnovers, again compared to 22 for Los Lunas. And the rebounding numbers in their favor as well, 27 for the Lady Eagles, 18 for Los Lunas. Again, Joseph leading with 10, 7 for Anthony, also 4 for Turbiatas and 3 for Hargrove. Again, turnovers is where it was all at, and despite all those 3-point shots that Los Lunas had, the Lady Eagles playing some tough defense and causing those cough-ups with the basketball that usually led to points.
Yeah, and I think that was a big difference in the game is, those turnovers and the rebounds. The stuff that was near the basket was bread and butter for the Lady Eagles, and then when they got a 3 on top of it, it just kind of was dessert.
Well, looking up the Albuquerque score tonight, Coach, it looks like Volcano Vista really expanding their lead over El Dorado, the other semifinal, the 5A. They're up 30-12 now, an 18-point lead, so that's looking pretty good for the Hawks. Of course, they'd be the team the Lady Eagles are going to play on Saturday. That game time has not been released yet. I think they're still waiting to see who has to travel, who doesn't. I mean, Hobbs is the number 1 seed, so I would put more money. Usually the boys usually play the last game, which would be 6 o'clock on Saturday, so it's going to be somewhere before that. There's a 4 o'clock game and then drops back from there a couple more. There's 4 games Saturday and 4 tomorrow. But Volcano Vista 11-0 on the season. Of course, the Lady Eagles have had experience with them several times, and very tough program, constantly in the playoffs year after year.
Yeah, it's a perennial powerhouse nowadays. I mean, they really have improved a lot, and they do have 2 really good players on that team that can really carry them. We saw them last year.
And the last few ball games against Cibola, they scored 69, Rio Rancho 63, 73 against Albuquerque High, and then the last game before the last week they scored 58 against La Cueva. So quite a few games in the 70s. See a couple more throughout the season. Highland, they had 71 points. So this team can score when they need to. Right now, they've scored 718 points and given up 352, so they're doubling pretty much their opponents at this point in time. And again, have not lost a game yet, and we're number 1 in the 5A district with an 8-0 record.
Yeah, it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be exciting, and I believe you're going to have that call with TJ Miracle. I'm going to have to bow out for this one.
Yeah, that's definitely one we wish you could have. Wish you can flip us on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
I won't be on YouTube. Sorry. What am I saying? I guess the other network is covering the video version, but we will be on Eagle 100.5 with, again, we don't have the game time, which we did to announce that, but the NMA is holding off to the last minute on that for the tournament. Just want to mention, too, I mean, this, like you said before, this is the last game for a few seniors on the court, and I know when you think about that, you hate the fact you're going to lose some of those to graduation, but at the same time, the Lady Eagles have so many youngsters out there, such a nucleus to build on next year as well.
Yeah, they're losing 2 seniors, and that's Elise Trubiatis, who all world. I mean, this is a girl who she's going to find something. She's going to get to play somewhere in college, and that 6-foot senior, she's a guard forward combo, and really it was a spark plug for the Lady Eagles, and of course. They're also losing Alexia Fabula. She was a 5'8" senior guard and didn't get a whole lot of playing time this year. When she did, she did play hard.
Coach, I want to also mention, too, with Lee County basketball, the Tatum Lady Coyotes lost yesterday to number 1 Pecos, which was kind of a tough game for them on a road trip. But the Jow boys, 14-0 this season, and they won last night pretty big as well. They had to play Pecos and got the victory there. A final in that one was 61-43, but they're going to be playing Rehoboth Christian, who's 14-0 as well. So both those teams are tough. They'll play tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and we'll have coverage, I believe, at 103.7 KPCA, TJ and Don on that game. But how about them Panthers? I know you were talking to me before the game, but you've been watching the last couple of years. Great advancement the last couple of years.
Yeah, they had, and I'll get to that in just a second. I forgot Jemiah Clay. I was going down my roster and realized, gosh, the spark plug that shoots the threes and gets
the
the
red
steals.
hair.
Yeah, and a great kid to boot. Just an awesome young lady, and she's going to be missed as well. But you're talking about the Jow Panthers. You are not kidding. I haven't done the Eunice game for the past few years. I've watched how much they've invested in their youth movement coming up, and the coach has just done an amazing job of bringing those kids forward. And I think that, much like our Lady Eagles, which we see being a powerhouse for years to come, I think Jow is going to be doing the same thing.
That's pretty unique to have 2 14-0 teams, and Rehoboth Christian, a private school, getting themselves a nod in that championship game. Of course, I think Jow has the longest road trip, as usual, being down here from southeast Lee County.
Yeah, you can't get much further away.
Yeah, they're the most corner team, I think.
Maybe Lordsburg, possibly on the other side. Animus, yeah. But it doesn't get much further than that. But I don't think they mind at all getting to play in the pit.
Of course, Coach Lujan had a championship when he played years ago. That was the year, I forget what year it was, but that was the year we had, I think it was 2000, we had 3 Lee County teams win the state championship. Jow boys, Tatum boys, and the Hobbs boys, all 3 of them. That was a pretty cool year for Lee County basketball.
I do appreciate that history lesson, Ty.
I won't be certain on the 2000, but I bet Ron Gunner is getting ready to text me right now from the station and say, Ty, this is the exact year. Shut up. Get off the radio.
And we do appreciate Ron. Ron looks up things and gives us all sorts of information during the game.
And he gave me one trivia thing I forgot to mention earlier, too. I was talking about how that Coach Zeller looked like he's tall enough to play college basketball, and Ron did do some research. He did play for Baylor, and so a cup for 2 seasons, and I thought he looked like a basketball physique down there, but he's 63 years old now, still romping down the sidelines, and he had a tough chore here and trying to get his team a victory here at Tasker, but Lady Eagles took care of that and ended up putting themselves in the championship.
They did, and it's going to be an exciting one coming up. So I do appreciate all of you for listening in and watching it on TV. For final score 63-40, Lady Eagles win on to the state championship game. For Ron Gunther back at the station, for Branson who ran the scoreboard and the camera today, and for my right-hand man, Ty Friend, this is the coach, Brian Coltrane. Good night.
All right, you're done.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you, and good night.
Good night.